Welcome back to another CartoonSmart.com podcast. I am Justin Dyke, and as usual, joined by my always fun co-host, Clevon. Clevon, you want to say hello? I do indeed, and thank you for having me back over here. So you told me that on the website you got somebody that was trying to open up a URL. Is that the correct term? Basically a web page they wanted to go to right from their app. And I gotta admit it's a good question, and it's a timely one because I'm trying to make right now kind of like a page on my own app that will just go to all sorts of different links. I don't feel like any space should be unsold, so to speak. It should be kind of like a NASCAR type situation, where you can just click all over the place. Well, if that's what you want to do with your app, that's fine. Let's go ahead and clear out. You want to do this for me? You want to clear out? Yeah, let me just go ahead and clear out what we got. And there's a Sprite Kit and a Swift project. So we're gonna get rid of all the garbage that comes with it. And this is relatively simple. Let's go ahead and just put this into touches began. You know what would be great actually if there was like a touches hover, like so it could just detect when your finger was not touching, but like just a second away from like just going over. That would be some fancy technology, but I don't think it exists. All right, so here it is. We're gonna say if let let means it's a constant, so it's not gonna change at all. We're gonna say let URL, and then this is gonna equal SURL, and then you throw in here that this is going to be a string type. I don't know what other type a URL would be. Maybe a chain or something like that, like a gold chain possibly. There we go. Cartoon. Yeah, we'll throw in your website there because you don't advertise that nearly enough with the stinger in front of every video just about, and coming on here, first thing you always say is CartoonSmart. So why don't we just put it in here one more time? UI application, shared application, dot open URL. A lot of fancy stuff in here for doing something that doesn't seem that fancy. Okay, so the dot got lots of that and lots of parentheses, and I guess we're probably at about the point we can test it out. Do I have to be on the device? No, I think it should actually open up right in the simulator. All right, well, let's give it a chance. This could be also going into the danger zone a little bit if you're going to sell a kids app perhaps, and then you throw a bunch of links on there. I'm not trying to make a kids app. I'm trying to make a serious type of. I'm trying to make the only racing game that's you're hauling a horse carriage behind your car, so you don't even really see the car. From the back of it, it's like a 3D thing where you're pretty much just focused on the horse and the horse carriage. One of those trailers, you don't even see much of the horse. All right, so we're going to press down now, and oh, look at that. It goes kind of slow, maybe for dramatic effect in the simulator. Is that why the simulator is slow? Because it's always for dramatic effect? No, the simulator is just not that great of a test environment. It's nowhere near as fast as, say, like your actual device. Oh, there it is. Well, your site doesn't look that great on the mobile. Look, all that other cool stuff that you usually have is getting chopped off. That's supposed to be a video right there, and that's just not even coming up at all. That looks good, but the price, who knows? That could be $199. No, it's $99 for the entire year. You get every tutorial we've ever done. Well, that is a good deal. All right, so let's clear out of that. Now, what if, say, well, I want to look at this one more time. Hold on. If I go over here back to, okay, so that'll go back to the app, and then everything kind of goes as normal again. And that was opening up what? Just a separate Safari window. And you were telling me earlier that what I could do is open up a kind of Safari window in the app itself. Is that right? Yeah, we could. You're gonna have to put in a little bit more code. Let's try doing this. Let's go over here to import, and then import Safari services. Right. Okay, so that's gonna give us a little bit of extra functionality here. Well, let me take back over. I remember, and I'm looking at your notes too, so I can see what you. All you do is you just keep open another. You act like you remember all this stuff, but you just keep open another screen, so I can just copy what you wrote. So you got in here open URL in, let's say VC for view controller, just so we don't have to write the longest ever function name in history. The URL string. So we're gonna make we're making a function here where we can actually pass in the URL. So you could use this for multiple different URLs. Let me put you all back in the middle so it's not you're not looking down at the bottom of your device. Okay, so we're gonna say if let URL. So this is another one of those little tests just to see if everything's up on the up and up. String. And while I'm typing this, I was gonna say that you got to be careful if you're gonna make like a kids app or something like that, and it goes to something like Facebook, all that other things. First off, you're gonna have to tell your app reviewer that yeah, I got this cute little kids app and everything like that, but it pretty much has unrestricted World Wide Web access. So don't let's just hope for the best on that one. Or if it so if I install an app and it goes to, let's say, Facebook or something like that, and I give that to my kids, suddenly I found that they were posting up on my Facebook page all sorts of stuff about, pictures that they assembled of like making a cute little teddy bear and things like that. And I do get a lot of good feedback on that from other friends of mine. They say, "Hey, Clevon, nice little bear that you made there." I don't know if they're being sarcastic or not, because you can't really always infer that from a little comment. I guess maybe I should have assumed that they are being sarcastic about that. Okay, let's see. So what we got here is the deal with Sprite Kit is that you're in your own little Sprite Kitty world. You're in a scene, and that scene is kind of its own little view. But what you want to do is you sort of want to go back and establish the view above the scene where you're at. So that's what this let VC UI view controller, that's the view controller that controls everything. You could think of it sort of like a super being or something like that has control of everybody else. And then what we're going to do is make another window that is kind of like a sub window under that. So that's what our Safari view is right here. And if you forgot to put in that Safari services, this is just going to misfire every time. You're not going to be able to do anything. And then here's our last little bit. So what we're going to say is VC. So that's for our view controller. Present view controller, and be sure you put in there present. It'll start to get it after a while. Presented. No, just put in present view controller. There it is. And then you're going to specify, all right, so there's my Safari view. Get that guy up there, animated. That's an option, but we'll throw that in there as true. Better spell it right. Xcode doesn't really like things spelled wrong. And completion nil, so we're not going to do anything when it completes. And but that's this is all kind of what's the problem here? Cannot call view on the what? Oh, look at this. It did put into presented. I want to just present view controller. There it is. All right. So now what should happen is we're going to call this. So let's do something a little different over here. We're going to just comment out what we had before. And we're going to put in here open URL in view controller. And this time we're going to pass in that, I guess we'll just go advertise more for you. Put this in there, and then that will do the loop, kind of jump from this little spot right here into here, which is then going to hop right into here. It's a little gateway from one place to the next. Open that up. I'll tell you about gateways. You don't even want to know. I got a story about a gateway. Clevon, I don't think I really do want to know, to be honest. No, it's kind of like one. I'll tell it at the end of this thing. All right, hold on. Here we go. So now I'm going to click down just like I did before, and again for dramatic effect, just eases it on in there at the end. And sure enough, that worked. It looks like the only difference is, You don't. There must not be a whole lot of advantage to doing this, because the only thing I see different is now we have a done button, and the other one it said go back to whatever app you were at before. So I assume that you can. Can you not? Can you not navigate around? Maybe that's the advantage. Let's look. I can't say for sure on that one. Just let me get out of here. Okay. Well. Another issue. It was working fine on your device earlier when you tested this, wasn't it? Yeah, you could hit done and it would go somewhere. But that would be interesting. I can't say for sure. You know what? Why don't we pause the video and come back with an actual answer whether or not you can navigate to another website. Okay, time must have frozen for you all, but for us, we spent about 5 minutes checking that out, and yeah, it looks that if you do this way, you basically prevent people from going anywhere other than where you sent them to. All right, so that's a good little note right there. Now, if you use this one, you're basically opening up the complete Safari app, and people will have unrestricted access to go wherever. So this would be, if you are going to send somebody somewhere, this is the way to do it probably if it's going to be a kid's app. Because then you could tell your app reviewer, like, they're only going to go to horseandbuggy.com, and that's a kid site. I don't even know if that is a kid site. That could be a bad site. But if it was, let's assume it's a kid site, horseandbuggy.com, that sounds like it. But you could say that there's nothing offensive there for the kids to look at and everything. So we should verify that. We should put in horse and buggy. Yeah, we maybe should mention URLs that we're just making up on the fly here. Okay, so just to scratch that part, maybe is there a way to just edit it? Does this go out completely live? Am I streaming to the podcasting people right now that I don't really feel like editing it, so we'll leave it in and let's just hope for the best. All right. Well, is that it for? Oh, I was going to tell you about the gateway. I guess, do you really have to? Yeah, man, this is like a life lesson for people. Did you know that in I think it was in biblical times that the tamarind, have you ever heard of that fruit? The tamarind tree was the gateway to hell. I guess somebody figured out that maybe if you dug down below the tree roots enough that you could go down, there was like steps or something into hell. So if you eat that fruit, you're kind of giving it up. You could possibly end up in hell somehow. So anyway, I got a hold of some of that and I ate a piece. And let me tell you, I get jittery just thinking about it right now. I did go down to hell for a little bit, and it was horrible. I'm talking about all manner of demons and technological demon stuff we haven't even thought of yet. There was a guy that I used to sanitize roller coasters with this dude. He eventually fell off one of them trying to sanitize it while it was. I shouldn't laugh. He was trying to sanitize it while they were running another, the car. Basically, it was two cars, and he was in the back one trying to sanitize it because somebody threw up on it, and he wasn't buckled in properly because he was trying to be able to sanitize at the same time. And that was just because people in the line were getting antsy that they wanted to get on. So he was like, you know what? Somebody did puke. I'm gonna do my best to clean this up as fast as possible. So you get people on car one, and I'll clean up car two. And anyway, he was a son of a gun, and he deserves probably to be in hell. So I had to see him one more time. Fortunately, they got him doing the same job. Clevon, you're making me laugh over it. Well, it's not that funny, and I'm not making a joke, okay? And then there was all sorts of, I saw a whole stack of unreleased Steve Winwood music, and that should not be in hell. That should be up either on our plane of existence or up in heaven, as maybe like a reward for doing a good job here on earth. But definitely that should not, any Steve Winwood music should be right up out of hell. So that was disappointing to see that. I screamed a little bit when I saw that. I was like, no, we got to get those tapes out. And then, I'm a big buffet guy, but I do not like ferrets. And maybe this was like a vision just for Clevon here that they had ferrets sleeping in the buffet trays. I could not believe it. So it was like, if you wanted to get a salad or something like that, you had to be like, get this ferret out of the way. So Just go on, all right? So anyway, and eventually when I kind of regained consciousness or whatever, and I was back on the earthly plane and everything. But I'm never going to eat any sort of tamarind again in my entire life. I don't even know where you get like at a international supermarket or something like that. I don't even know who sells tamarind. Well, it wasn't exactly it wasn't the fruit itself. It was like a kind of a tamarind infused mint that I picked up at a Crate and Barrel. It was they were giving them away for free, and I was like, "Oh, that's a free mint right there!" And then boom, I was out. Okay, well, well, you know what? I don't even know how to wrap this up. Well, go to CartoonSmart.com if you if you dare. Okay, that's it for this podcast.